Hey y'all, hey, welcome to 2D Talk Sense. Now today I'm gonna be in here for a good time, not a long time. And I may have to pause and come back, So if you see a little pause and you see, me pick back up, you'll know that's why. Now, come on, y'all, let's discuss.
Straight from the shot, spitting truth, no halt. 2D Talk Sense, keep the culture on vault. Politics, humor, mix it raw in the stew. Breaking down the news like she's slicing a cube. Come on, y'all, let's discuss, that's the frame. Dropping hitters, tweets, putting lames to shame. Hilarious for real, got the nation on the buzz. Got them tuning in like they addicted to the love. She the queen of the trends, no fake, no frauds. Unpacking every topic, flipping all the odds. From city lights, sparking to the Capitol walls. 2D got the mic, they just stalling in the hall. She a vibe, make Chicago proud on the route. Windy City wit, knocking all the clout out. Raw but so rich, intellect on the brim. Swimming through the chaos, never decrease the dim. Come on, y'all, let's discuss, that's the frame. Breaking it down, keep it sharp like a blade. Hilarious for real, got the nation on the buzz. 2D Talk Sense, spreading heat like the sun. Kanye level antics, nah, she's supreme. Stitching words together like a courtroom dream. Politics on canvas, brush strokes vivid. 2D's broad vision turning limits to liquid.
First, let's talk about we're only gonna talk about 3 subjects today. P. Diddy update, Smokey Robinson lawsuit, and Tyre Nichols officers being found not guilty. So first, let's get into this P. Diddy. I told y'all in the last video that they started the jury selections, and on Monday, today is the day of recording, is Thursday, and they're taking a break today, and they're gonna pick back up Friday. Now, did y'all read that the victim number 3 that is supposed to testify in his trial is missing? So they have been trying to locate victim number 3. They have contacted her lawyer. At first, they wasn't able to get in touch with the lawyer. They did get in touch with her lawyer, but the lawyer said that he's not even sure that she would testify even if they subpoena her and find her. That he's not sure that she's going to testify. So I don't know what's going to happen with that, but victim number 3 is missing. And victim number 3 is a Jane Doe. I believe they said she's an ex-girlfriend who was in a relationship with P. Diddy. Victim number 1, who's Cassie, she's the only one who's been named. So I know there's a victim number 1, Cassie. There's a victim number 2 and a victim number 3. So victim number 3 is missing. So we're going to see what turns up with that. Now, I know that the rumor is like, oh, people are thinking that either, somebody did something to her or that she got paid off and now she's not going to testify. I'm like, there's also a third option that this is going to be, that she's like, this is just too much publicity. I don't know what she got going on in life right now, but it may be more. She may have bit off more than she can chew. And just people are claiming that Tasha K did a video with one of P. Diddy's ex. And this was before that videotape came out. Now, I dropped a video once. This lady, and I forget her name. Sorry, I forget her name. But she looked like she was like, I think she's like Asian and black. But once this Cassie video of the hotel video came out, she described in the video, in the interview that she did with Tasha K, exactly what had happened to Cassie in that video. Look it up on my, go through my old videos, and it's in there. And I do a comparison of her talking, and this next to it is the video, the hotel video playing, and it sounds very familiar. So
at my house with my kids here, bitch, here, and then I ran out the mediation room, or
meditation room.
Meditation room.
Okay.
And he chased after me. He pushed me to the ground outside, and he took my hair and like was dragging me across like the grass in my hair with my hair, and then after that, like a couple hours later, like it was the weekend, so we had people coming over, and he just like acted like nothing happened.
People are assuming that she's victim number 3, and that's the one who's like now is reconsidering testifying. Now, also let's do the jury updates. I believe, let me go in here and tell you the process for these jurors, because baby, I'm not serving on no jury. I'm gonna go right up in there and say something where they ain't gonna pick me. I know people can end up like making money and stuff. Some people like write books who've been on the jurors of trials, especially big profile trials, or they can make money afterwards with doing interviews and things, because they don't pay enough. they definitely don't pay enough. And the way big high profile cases interrupt your life, and sometimes they go on for weeks and months, baby, get somebody else to do it. I'm gonna go write it in there. I think you're guilty, so they could exclude her, get her on up out of here, because I got time for this. And then when I went and looked through and found out just I'm finna read the process that they go through to pick who's gonna be on the jury. Okay, the 5-day jury selection process goes as follows. In the morning, a group of prospective jurors is asked to swear an oath of honesty before they are given a package of 14 yes or no questions and a list of more than 199 names and places. The questions include whether they have been the victim of a crime, whether they or anyone close to them has worked in law enforcement, and whether there is any reason they couldn't render a fair and impartial judgment. Each juror is brought before the judge and asked to explain any yes answer. Baby, I would have answered yes to everything. Don't pick me, okay? They also ask if they personally know any of the people or places listed. On the first day, the judge asks if they recognize any of the names. Let me stroll down. The jurors was also asked to fill out a questionnaire the week before arriving at court. Like, you giving me homework a week before I even get there. How much does this job pay? I know it's supposed to be your duty, and to the nation, do your job as a citizen. But I'm gonna need some coins. A week before arriving, they're given a questionnaire. Those questions ask what type of news and media the jurors consume and what opinions they have about Combs and the trial based on what they have read and heard. That he's a freaky motherfucker. You from Chicago, you know that song. Come on. He's a freaky motherfucker. Or what's the other one? He's a fan. As the judge interviews the jurors, attorneys from either side may suggest additional questions. If any of the jurors' comments raise concerns about bias, the attorneys may apply for them to be excused for cause. For example, one juror was excused after responding, P. Diddy has a lot of money and could probably buy his way out of jail. Yeah, at least the juror is honest. That's some shit I'll put on. Say, okay, we ain't holding nothing back on this one. Another one was struck after saying she leans towards Combs having committed the crimes based on what she have gathered from the case. It was the baby oil, wasn't it? That's what got it. Said, all them baby oils, you need that much baby oil, you doing something illegal. At the end of the day, the jurors who was not excused returned to the courtroom for group questioning, where each person is asked about whether about where they live, who they live with, what music and TV shows they like, and more. Of the 19 jurors questioned Monday, 6 said they listened to hip hop, with at least 2 specifically mentioning 90s hip hop, the era in which Combs was a star. Many of the potential jurors noted that they had seen the hotel surveillance video obtained and published by CNN that allegedly they over here doing the R. Kelly. That ain't him. That allegedly depict Combs assaulting his ex-girlfriend, Cassandra Cassie Ventura, and dragging her across the floor. CNN copy of the video will not be used as evidence in a trial, but variants of the footage will be shown to the juror. CNN video has come up repeatedly in jurors' interview, with one prospective juror said most everybody saw the video, adding that he believed it depicted Combs as an angry, hostile person who is entitled. You don't say. Meanwhile, a white-haired Combs sat in the courtroom listening to the judge speak with all the potential jurors. Combs' trial began Monday in Lower Manhattan Courthouse, overseen by Judge, I'm gonna mess this name up, Sarabarin, by Judge Sarabarin. Throughout the week, 150 potential jurors will be whistled down to 12, who will serve on the trial, which is expected to begin at least 8 weeks. Which is expected to last at least 8 weeks. Opening arguments are scheduled to begin on May 12th. The rapper and Bad Boy founder is facing 5 counts, including 1 for racketeering, 2 for sex trafficking, 2 for trafficking, 2 for transporting to engage in prostitution. If he is convicted on any or all counts, Combs could spend the rest of his life in prison. Since 2023, he was hit with more than 70 lawsuits accusing him of sexual misconduct, ranging from the R word to X trafficking. Prosecutors said they have interviewed more than 50 witnesses and recovered evidence from over 100 laptops, cell phones, and other electronic devices. The government looks to paint Combs as a serial abuser who led a vast criminal network held together by assistant security guard and other employees who kept quiet for years. The charges in the indictment stem from alleged crimes that span from 2020 to 2024. Combs had denied all allegations and has insisted that all sexual activity was consensual. Now, also, I had reported that he was looking for a black female attorney. So TMZ released a picture of his attorneys. I want to say it was like 8, 9 of them bad boys. And 2 to 3 are white females. 1 is a black female attorney. 1 is a black male. And the rest are white males. So I said, okay, he done got his black female attorney. Okay. Yeah, how much he had to pay you to sign up for that? But I want to say that's the only update with P. Diddy. So, yeah, I think they had Thursday off, and they're going to continue on. And they're going to continue on tomorrow, on Friday. See, the already explosive trial took an unexpected turn after the prosecutor revealed that they couldn't reach victim 3 despite repeated effort. Her absence could throw a wrench in the prosecutor case and weaken a key part of their narrative. The woman referred to as victim 3 is believed to be an ex-girlfriend and alleged victim of the rapper. She was expected to testify that the disgraced music mogul coerced her into explicit acts during his decade-long pattern of alleged racketeering and trafficking. However, on Wednesday, which was day 3 of jury selection in Diddy federal case, prosecutor told the judge that they failed to contact the unidentified woman. The prosecutor team said they was also having trouble contacting victim 3 lawyer, who was preoccupied with personal issues that was not disclosed. How the lawyer gonna be like, my name Bennett and I ain't in it? This ain't your only case. How you just not gonna answer the phone? But let me continue. Victor 3 does not live locally and may not show up even if we try to enforce the subpoena and want to call her. Prosecutor Maureen Comey said Wednesday while giving the court an update on the situation. We do not know whether she intends to appear, and we are trying very hard to find out because we are having trouble communicating with her counsel, with her lawyer. They like, we don't know if she gonna come or not. We can't even get in touch with the lawyer. So let's see. After Wednesday's session concluded, both sides was expected to be back in court Friday, May 9th, to narrow down the jury pool from 45 to the required 12 and 6 alternates. So that'll be tomorrow. They're going to narrow it down to 18. So that's it for the P. Diddy update, y'all. Who do y'all think victim 3 is? And do you think she's going to eventually come through? And if she don't, what happens with the case? Because they still have, she's victim 3. And I don't know how many victims they're going to have testify. Because it sounds like it's 3. But they still have the other 2. So I don't know what part of her testimony ties into the different counts that he had. And if they can make it stick without it. It seems like just from the stuff Cassie said in her lawsuit, that all the counts should be able to stick just from what she said. But I'm assuming, maybe more people to validate what she said will look better than just one person who is your ex, who I'm assuming they're going to say career didn't take off the way she thought it would or the way he promised that it would. And it may paint her as some like bitter ex or something like that. So it would be helpful to have more people to validate what she's saying. Now, you could probably go on the internet and find, I know his bodyguard had, one of his bodyguards or somebody who worked with him had pretty much validated everything the girl said. And besides the 70 lawsuits, not 70 lawsuits, but I don't know if they're going to be able to bring the lawsuits in. I feel like with 70 lawsuits, you should be able to go and find some of these people in these lawsuits to come and testify if what they're saying is true. But yeah, we gonna see what happens. Now, speaking of another fan, y'all, Smokey Robinson. I know y'all seen that video where he had that 80-year-old body slow grind on me. That wasn't the song that was playing, but he was Smokey was out there getting it. But Smokey Robinson, y'all know Smokey is a fine little man in his day. He was a fine man. He 80 something. He's still a handsome little man. But baby, he been hit with a lawsuit that I ain't gonna lie. When I first heard the lawsuit, I was like 50 Cent in Power. When he's like he told what you call his son. He told Go Son. Anything they say he did that shit. And the only reason why I thought initially upon hearing it, because everybody was saying the victims had the same story as far as him laying down a towel. And I said, that's some old man shit right there. That lay down that baby, you got to be of a certain age, because the younger ones, they just let you get the bed all wet. Hopefully it's wet if they know what they're doing. But they just let, that's some old men. Y'all put this towel down right here up under you, baby, because, I'm finna have you gushing all everywhere. So, focus. So, Smokey Robinson has been hit with a lawsuit that alleges him. It wasn't just him. They said him and his wife. They told the wife, bring that ass here. So him and his wife is in this lawsuit, named in this lawsuit. So they are accused of negligent sexual assault, sexual battery, assault, gender violence, false imprisonment, hostile work environment. It's by 4 women, all Hispanic, who was housekeepers, and they was paid below minimum wage. I said, Smokey, you got all this money. How you gonna pay these people below minimum wage? That ain't right. That ain't right. And then I seen his wife. Now his first wife is black. The second wife, I really don't know. It don't make a difference, but I really don't know what she is, because when we go through this lawsuit, I was like, I wonder if she's black, because they said she was calling them racial slurs or ethnic slurs is what it says in the lawsuit. And I said, I wonder, is this lady black? So I went and look up the picture, because I'm like, that sound like, not saying white people is the only one who could be racist, but because we can have our biases too. So from her pictures, I seen one picture there. I was like, oh, okay, she might be black or biracial. But all the other ones, I was like, oh, I don't know if this lady is black. She may, unless she like Mariah Carey black, one of them passing ones, because that one just maybe been a tan or some dark makeup. Because I don't know. Don't tell me this white woman's in here calling these Mexicans racial slurs. Well, I mean, well, hell, the one just called the black autistic boy got 600K. I'm gonna start using. I'm not, y'all. I'm not. So let's go through. And then I was also, some people are saying, oh, Smokey Robinson's wife is a lot younger than him. Yes, but he's 80. So she's maybe 10, 12 years younger than him. So she's in her 70s. So I was like, baby, the women of that age, that in that age bracket, who was brought up in that day, baby, they got a bed for blaming a woman. They ain't taking it out on no man. They ain't holding no man accountable. Y'all see that song? That was that before the Boy Is Man's. They had a woman. Hello, Shirley. Oh, was it Barbara? Hello, Barbara. This is Shirley. Everything that man got is mad, from the top of his feet to the bottom of his, from the top of his head to the bottom of his toes. Okay. Woman and woman. Y'all know the song. Like y'all don't know the song. That used to be, that used to be y'all parents' stuff. That used to be my mom's stuff. My older sisters always trying to sing it. I don't know the words like that though. From the top of his head to the bottom of his feet, to the bed he sleep in, and every piece of food that he eat. Okay, Shirley, you can have them. Ain't even that serious. Shirley wasn't playing no games about that man. He say, woman to woman, if you ever been in love. I said, come on, Shirley, tell him. But that's the women that generation, baby. They didn't care if it was kids. That girl's too fast. She enticed him. Like, they whole mouths messed up. So in the lawsuit, they alleged that his wife was like really mean, always yelling at them, calling them names. And then one alleged that he even would like threaten, like, hey, if you don't do what I say, I'm gonna get my wife on you. Like, oh. But yeah, let's go through this. So Jane Doe 1 started working with him in January 3rd of 2023 through February of 2024. She worked on the weekends. Now, Smokey would take his wife to the nail salon. Then he would rush home. And I'm like, this is 2023. He was still in his 80s at this point. I said, what is he doing rushing? Smokey need to sit down before he break a hip. And all this, let's continue. He would take his wife to the nail salon. Then he would rush home to get in the shower, and he'll just put on some underwear, and he'll put the towel down on the bed, and he'll lock the door. He'll send the dog on out, and he'll lock the door. Then he would kiss her everywhere. She's like on my neck, on my breasts and stuff. Then he would roughly, I don't even know if he was doing it like that, because she said roughly, so it may have been like that. So then he would give her oral. I said, ADLs, I give my oral. Let me stop, because They had to be giving oral back then because that's when they was having 12 and 13 kids. So yeah, probably he probably. So then he would give her oral, and then he would vaginally. Let me see. What's another word? Cooter cat. Yeah, no old people, they say cooter cat. So then he will get her oral, then he'll go and, have regular through the cooter cat. And he enjoying finishing inside her with no protection. She said this happened at least 7 times. The last time it happened was February 17th of 2024, and she resigned the next week. Oh, and I forgot to say trigger warning, everybody. I forgot to say that before I continue on with the story. Because that was only victim 1, and it's 4 of them. So one time she tried to stop him by saying, "You married," and he blew it off. So Jane Doe 1 said the wife failed to do anything to stop Smokey conduct, knowing that he previously had settled lawsuits about his behavior from other women. So I'm waiting on them lawsuits to hit the news. When those gonna hit the news about these previous lawsuits? Because they should be available. Whether maybe not the record, and I'm assuming once he settled, they probably signed NDAs, but the initial lawsuit should be somewhere. So also the wife streamed at her, making it a hostile work environment. So Jane Doe 2 worked from them from 2014 until February 2020 and resigned because of Smokey assaults. The first time in late 2016 when they was home alone together, he texted her. Oh, he know how to text. Ain't that something? He texted her and asked her to meet him at his home, then told her to go to the garage or laundry room because neither one of those rooms had cameras. I'm still like, he texts her, but my grandma is 86. Don't send her no text or don't expect no text back because, baby, she don't know what that is. She don't know how to respond or nothing. She know how to make phone calls. And my family bought her an iPhone, so she FaceTiming everybody. And then be like, "Hey, baby, you calling me?" No, grandma, you was calling me. Love her to death. Gotta love her. And Smokey Robinson, was one of them men. And this is my grandma saying, baby. This how you know that I love some of the little old school sayings that they had. She said, "Oh, that man can put his shoes up under my bed anytime." I said, "Oh, grandma." Granny. Okay, let me continue. So he would grab her. We're talking about Jane Doe 2. The first time was in 2016 when they was home alone. He texted her, said, "Meet me in the garage or the laundry area," because neither one of those rooms had cameras. He would grab her. And then he R-worded her. And this occurred 23 times without protection. So Smokey don't like to strap it up. She said if she refused, Smokey said he would make his wife be mean to her. Both Jane Doe 1 didn't press charges because both Jane Doe 1 and 2 didn't press charges because of their immigration status and because Smokey was famous. So they was both illegal working there, and that's probably how he was able to pay them under minimum wage. And they didn't go to the police because they don't. If you're illegal, you don't want to have to contact the police at all. So Jane Doe 3 worked from 2012 until April 2024. So that means Jane Doe 3 and Jane Doe 2 was there at the same time. And Jane Doe 3 was there when Jane Doe 1 was there. But not. So Jane Doe 1 and 3 worked together. And Jane Doe 3 and 2 worked together. But Jane Doe 2 didn't work with Jane Doe 1. Okay. I'm just putting together the timeline. So he would do the same routine. He would shower. He would put the towel on the bed. This one, he would make her lie face down. So I guess this one, he wanted it from the back. So then he would R-word her, and this happened at least 20 times. One time she resisted, and Smokey offered her $500 to go down on her, but she refused the money. I said, "How you offering money to give?" This makes no sense. Like, you're offering money not for the cooter cat. You offer money just so you can lick the cooter cat. And it's only $500. But you ain't paying her minimum wage, but you gonna offer $500 to go lick on the cooter cat. Let me continue. She resigned in 2024 because the assault started happening daily. I said daily? He's in 2024. That's last year, which means Smokey is still in his 80s. He got enough time. Man, if Jane Doe 1 and Jane Doe 3 is there at the same time, at some point, it seems like at least 2 people was there at the same time for each one of these. So besides your wife, you 3 people in your 80s. What type of Viagra are they making nowadays? Because that powder that's poofing up out of there. Let me continue. She resigned in 2024 because the assault started happening daily, and the wife will always stream at her and make ethnic slurs at her, which Jane Doe 1 and 2 said she did to them as well. So this is now we're at Jane Doe 4, who did October 2026 to 2024. So let me go to the dates, 2026 to 2024. That means she was there with Jane Doe 1 and Jane Doe 3. So Jane Doe 1, 3, and 4 was there at the same time. So he's fucking daily at least 4 different women at 80. Okay. So October 26th to April 2024, she was a maid, personal assistant, cook, and a hairdresser to the wife. The R word happened in 2007, where she went with Smokey to his Las Vegas home. When they was alone, he forced her into the bedroom and would R-word her. In mid-2019, she was cleaning the bedroom, smoking shower, and returned to the bedroom naked, and his men part was standing at full attention. I said, just the picture of them 80-year-old balls hanging. Now Smokey, he's still handsome in the face, baby, but his body is still 80-something. And I don't know if they put Botox down there because I ain't in life like that. So, just naked, sitting there. Like, if this stuff is true, I'm not saying Smokey did this. I'm not saying he not. But this lawsuit, Smokey. Let me continue. He did the same routine. He kissed her, put the towel down because he didn't want to mess up his wife's bed. Because I'm like, why? If it's Smokey Robinson house, right? I'm assuming you got some money. I know you got more than one bedroom because you got all these damn houses. You better have a mansion. Because other than that, I'll be your wife. Like, why would the fuck we got all these housekeepers? All these female ass. I'm quite sure they're younger than his wife. Why we got all these female young bitches running around my house? Because just with the dates, you had at least 3 at one time. So there got to be a mansion. Why you fucking in your wife's bed, Smokey? Because one of these said it was the bed, and he went in the bedroom shower and stuff and put down a towel. Unless, you doing it in the other rooms, and because of them previous lawsuit, maybe you got caught before. So now he putting down a towel because the wife may come home and check all the bedrooms. I don't know. Then another thing. Why see? Because the nail salon victim, where he would drop off the wife at the nail salon, come home and shower, and then R-word her. Why are you showering before? Because you ain't moving that quick. Like you didn't get up in the morning. I'm quite sure you done showered in the morning. That's gonna take out more time unless them pumps is quick. Because I would assume you saving a shower to afterwards so the wife won't smell somebody else cooter cat or perfume or whatever on you. Because even putting down that towel, like, I'm gonna get in my bed, like, that ain't my perfume. Who fuck you done had up in here? Like, I don't know. The showering before, it doesn't make sense to me. Especially in all these victims, he going down on them. They ain't saying like the Shannon Sharp where he's making them go down on him. He's going down on them. Should you tell them bitches get in the shower? They been running around here cleaning all day, probably sweating and shit. You probably live in California. I'm assuming it's hot. Okay. Anyway, to me, I was like, that doesn't make sense. Just the time slot, the time allowment that you should say that shower. Not that I'm giving people advices for how to cheat, but say the shower to afterwards, because you're gonna need to clean up before you go get your wife, because you don't want to have somebody else, because you're doing this without protection. So you want to have somebody else cootie cat juice on your thing when you go get your wife, or you gonna pick her up, then come home and shower, and she gonna be like, nigga, what you showering for in the middle of the day? But that's just me. So she said in 2019, she was in there cleaning the bedroom. Smokey showered and came out the bedroom, and he was just sitting there at full attention. And he started the same routine where he started kissing her. He put the towel down, then he R-worded her. This continued until she resigned, and the wife would stream at her and use racial slurs against her. They didn't go to the police because Smokey was famous. They was afraid of the family shame. And they didn't want their husband and children to know, and they was embarrassed. That's why they didn't go to the police. They said many worked at the same time but remained silent and didn't tell each other. And once they broke their silence and said something to each other, they realized that they was all getting R-worded by him. So it was like, yeah, we was working at the same time, but we didn't know because we didn't speak to each other about what was happening. So I guess one time that they did, when they finally did tell, some person spoke up and said what was happening. The rest of them was like, oh, it's happening to me too. So also, Smokey didn't pay them minimum wage in or overtime. He didn't give them no rest or lunch breaks. He didn't give them wage statements for the hours they worked. Now this part sounds like that you getting paid under the table. If they're illegal immigrants, I'm assuming maybe they was getting paid under the table. And you don't give people wage statements if you, not that I know. But who get wage statements? They getting paid up under the table. So, but anyway, they said he didn't give them wage statements. They also suing for intentional infliction of emotional distress, negligent infliction of emotional distress, gender violence, failure to pay overtime wages, and more. They are seeking damages for no less than $50 million. And I wonder, is that each or is per person? I'm assuming that's all together. That is no less than 50 million. Okay, y'all. Now let's finish up with this last story with Tyre Nichols. I don't know if y'all remember, because it's so many of them that's happened. These polices. Because this story particularly stuck out because it was Tyre Nichols. He is a black man, and he was pretty much beat to death by 5 cops, and all the cops was black. So they on trial. They did the federal trial. I want to say one took a plea deal. One was found guilty. And the other, no, there was, these 3 are on trial together. And those 3 did, in the federal court, they was found guilty of lesser charges. These 3 just went to the state court for like 2nd degree homicide and some other charges. But they found not guilty on all charges. They were found not guilty on nothing. And they moved the trial to a different county because this story was big, and I want to say where they was at was majority black. That's why majority of the cops was black, and they moved them to this different town, and all the jurors was all white, and they found them not guilty of absolutely nothing. So of course there was an outrage about that. But I said it in the last video that I believe that this is going to continue to happen with this administration, with that executive order, unleash the police, that this will continue to happen. And I said that I believe that, there's only so far that you can push somebody. that with the Hinton Jr., the Ohio man, that revenge unalivings of officers may be a thing that will start happening, because if you know that there's not going to be any consequences if a police officer unalive somebody in your family, and it's going to be a fucked up thing. Now with Tyre Nichols, if you see the video and you see the way that they beat him, now when you see the way that they beat him, you hear him calling for his mom, kind of reminiscent of George Floyd calling from his mom before he passed, but his mom was already deceased. Tyre Nichols was calling from his mom because, come to find out, his mom stayed not that far from where he was at, because I believe he was on his way home. He got pulled over by the police, and the police was aggressive from the beginning, dragged him out the car, put them down on the ground. They already had him, was handcuffing him. It was already four on him. It looked like a football pile up. Like, it was already a lot of them on him from the beginning. He was already saying, like, y'all calm down. This is not necessary. And so the aggressiveness was ridiculous. So when they got him down, he ended up getting a loose. I seen a police video that said he believed the reason why he got a loose because you seen one of the officers taking out his taser about trying to tase Tyre, but he couldn't because it was too many officers on him. And when you tase a person, of course, everybody else can't be holding them because they're gonna get tased too. So he said that was one reason why that they didn't tase him. Then they said another thing was that the officers tried to pepper spray him and end up pepper spraying the other officers. So, and then they had to chase him, and they chased them down and they caught him. And it was like they believed the police officers was just mad. They was mad as hell that they got pepper sprayed, mad as hell that he got away. They probably was embarrassed, upset, and so they literally beat the boy to death. I just said, and now they was found not guilty in the state court. They were found guilty in the federal court, but the federal court held off on sentencing until the state case. So now that the state case is over, we're gonna see what sentence they end up giving them for this federal case, and we'll see if Trump gonna pardon them officers, because I spoke about him pardoning the police officers who had killed the unarmed black man, and Trump pardoned them, and they are back on the police force. So, let's make America great again, y'all. So y'all be safe out here. That is all that we have to talk about today. My next live, and I'm telling y'all so y'all can tune in because I want some of y'all comments. My next live is that the Doge held a meeting about trans athletes. And to me, it was a ridiculousness. But then I want to get y'all opinion about how do you feel about trans women competing in sports for women. Now, I'm going to have an opinion on it simply because y'all know my baby is playing sports now. And I'm going to have my opinion, but I also want to hear how y'all feel about it. So at that time, we're going to discuss that. Y'all may get mad. So that's what's coming up on the live. So when y'all see the live, make sure y'all tune in so we could come on, y'all. Let's discuss. I will see y'all next time. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and follow me on social media, Tootie Talk Sense. Enjoy the rest of y'all night. Bye.